they do not, of course, want a war, but they will not move, be mute spectators if there's a provocation, if civilians are killed, if there is attack on critical installation. But let me tell you, Pakistan may be planning whatever they are, but they are in a catch-22 situation right now. There are, there's international pressure on them. As NSA might have spoken to him, I'm pretty sure that the NSA and the DGMO yesterday would have given them a dressing down on what has happened on the border and otherwise, and we will not tolerate killing of the civilians. 26 civilians at that time and 16 now. So that is the real count right now. And as you brilliantly pointed out, Kartike, the escalation in the escalation ladder, the escalations are only happening from the Pakistani side because they escalated when the Pahalgam terror attack happened in the most brutal manner, and then had the audacity to in fact kill another 16 innocent civilians in Poonch. So the government of India overall is monitoring it very, very closely. The Air Force, the Army are on ground zero in Punjab, in Jammu and Kashmir, in Haryana, in all the border areas of Rajasthan, Gujarat and other places. As you saw yesterday, there are mock drills that have happened, etc. And yesterday, very interestingly, while this exercise was on, there was a blackout that happened in Amritsar and a few other cities. So it's not just a mock drill. In a live situation, in a live warlike situation, the coordination civil administration had with the Indian Air Force, with the civilians, etc., was brilliant, was at its peak, and there was no misinformation. Pakistan did try to have a lot of misinformation that there were blasts happening, etc., etc., but that did not work out. And that is one change that I've noticed. I've been speaking ad nauseum since 2019 Pulwama that messaging is important, narrative is important. In these times of information warfare, where social media is so active, news breaks first on social media and goes viral, you don't have time to put the other way around. So it's important to preempt and then have that narrative in place. And I'm glad that the government of India issued a statement today, but then Vikram Misri, along with the two women officers, also came out and gave, and what a strong response. There are two brilliant women of Indian Armed Forces who are leading this initiative as spokespersons of India to the entire world and informing them we will not tolerate
notice
terrorism.
one thing?
Nari Shakti.
Did you notice one thing? Apart from Nari Shakti said, earlier they were in their fatigues which you would wear to civilian officers.
Absolutely, yes.
Today they were in their different sort of a fatigue, combat fatigues, if I am not wrong. So it was also symbolic, the dress change, So symbolism was there. So before I close the show, I'll take a closing comment from General Saxena, sir. Is the drone the future of the warfare? Because in Balakot and in this, the air power has been deployed by the government, in both. And and air power has been very effectively deployed. So do you think that drone is the future? Something which we have witnessed between Azerbaijan, Armenia, Ukraine, Russia?
Actually, I will say one word. Right from the first attack, which happened on 5th January 2018 on the Russian airbase at Khmeimim and the naval base at Khartoum, the things have never looked back. 14 September 2019, the airfields, the oil fields of Saudi Arabia were out on fire with 5.9 million barrels gone. Azerbaijan brought Armenia down to capitulation level by using Bayraktar and Horov drones. And most importantly, look at Ukraine, the only army, the only country in the world which has a separate branch dealing with the drones and saying we'll make 1 million drones a year, and if we have capacity, 2 million drones a year. No, drones have emerged as one of the important factors for prosecution of the air threat. But let us not be carried away as professionals. Drone in the scenario of tailor-made anti-drone weapons, which are called counter UAS weapons, are sitting ducks. And therefore, you should not say that drones are almighty, invincible system which will come and do all the damage. Having said that, it will be good to remember that our adversary has I'll say, fair amount of drone power, starting from its own Burak drones, which came out as early as 2013. There are reports of some 32 to 33 Wingloom drones of China, which is a Mali drone with 32-hour endurance and capable of carrying air-to-surface missiles, laser-guided and rocket-guided bombs are with them. And of course, there is its own made Shapar 2 drones and Bayraktar 2 with our Turkish friend, friendship going strong cannot be ruled out. And Anka drones, that portion we should just remember. And as the GOC 15 core is on board, and he very rightly said, it is foolish for us veterans to answer this question, what will happen next? No, sir. That is not our job. And also, not to give information and food to the enemy and kill his surprise. We only say, bring out things from our experience. This is what the adversary has got. This is what it can do. And suffice to say on your thing, as the GOC and the Air Marshal brought out, we have multiple options on board. Today, we are much, much stronger intra-service wise, and inter-service coordination is very high. I am aware, which I cannot disclose on this show, that how the three services have joined their hands
So
in
let me